Today is November 7th, 2020. I am currently laying on the roof of a playground, staring at the stars, wondering what it all is. I'm trying to further understand myself, as I think it is crucially important to understand myself and hopefully find love in myself, so that hopefully I can be happier and love other people and make them happy. So I guess that's what this is. To be honest, I think I'm afraid of being in love again. And so I've kind of shut a lot of people off from my love and affection. And I don't mean it in a sense of like, oh, I don't have friends or anything that like I love, but rather in the sense of like, I'm not able to open myself up to a loving relationship like I want to be. Like, I could still be physical and, stay the night with someone and be romantic, but I don't feel like I can love people in that way, in that relational way. At least right now, that is. I think moving forward, I will be able to. And there's a girl named Layla who I think is helping me do that. Because I do genuinely really like her and I'm happy with her, but I think my mind is helping me make up excuses for why it can't work, because I'm quote unquote not ready for a relationship, whether it's like the distance or like not knowing them well enough or whatever. I don't know. I feel like I'm restraining myself from what I know I can't have because I'm afraid of what I will have. That being a relationship where I'm happy and loved and whatever else, from someone besides the person who I first fell in love with. The person who still lingers in my mind and whose image is razor burned into my head. The person who brought me so much joy and has now brought me so much anguish and sadness. And even though I know it's not her fault and that she is doing what was best for her, I still feel broken and I don't feel capable of fixing it. And I suppose that means that I have to rely on someone else to help me fix it. But I think I'm afraid that once I am quote unquote fixed, I'll shatter into a million more pieces in a million different ways. But I guess that's kind of loving someone, right? At the end of the day, someone will either leave or die or whatever. There's no permanent love, right? You know, even if you grow old together and, you know, you get married, whatever, you still end up, you know, one of you ends up dying before the other. And you can't love from beyond the grave. You can love someone in the grave, but they can't love you back. And it's weird. Like, I don't fear dying. I think it's a good end to the story. I think everyone needs to have an end to their story. But at the same time, what if the people I love don't like the ending? And I know that it'd be out of my control and I'd have no option over it. But somehow it still bothers me. And I know logically that doesn't make sense, but it's how I feel. And I've started to hate using that reasoning of like, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's how I feel. Because it's so unsatisfying. And yet, no matter how unsatisfying it is, there is sort of a satisfaction in knowing an answer, even if it's not the answer you want. But I don't know if I can ever truly be satisfied. I don't know if it's societal or just me being broken or what, but it's not even that I want more. It's just that I don't know if I can be happy with anything. I knew I was happy at one point, and I'm happy with some people, but a lot of the time, I'm still unhappy. Like, in general, I feel happy with myself. I feel happy that I can entertain myself. I feel pretty happy in how I look and, you know, how I dress and what I do. And I feel happy in it. But I don't know. The isolation feels like it equates to an unhappiness. I can be happy in myself, but only for so much time. And I think quarantine's taught me a lot about that. That at first I was okay being alone and, you know, being able to do my own thing. But inevitably, I can't. And I've tried to fill those pockets temporarily through physical means. And sometimes I wish I didn't. And, you know, that's something I have to live with. It's definitely a regret I have. But I think I'm on a better path in terms of that. Like, you know, I feel less of like, I don't know how else to say it besides like, I feel less horny for a ton of things. It feels like concentrated almost, of like, when I see other people, it doesn't do much for me. But when I see like Layla, you know, I'm ready to go. And I don't know if that's still me having too much of like a physical attraction and not enough of an emotional attraction, or if it's all just fine and, you know, she drives me wild or what. But, you know, it's how it is. and I think it's good. I'm a little disappointed I failed No Nut November, but I'm glad that it was with her. You know, I find that with the people I'm not super happy to be around, that I talk a lot, but the people who I'm happiest around, I can just listen to them talk for hours and not say a word. And so sometimes it makes me wonder, do they even like me, or are they just filling that space? You know, just like I fill the space with the people that I'm not that happy with. And like, I don't think I have any like genuinely toxic people in my life. I think I've been good at avoiding those types of people. But somehow in avoiding toxicity, it feels more alone than ever. Like, I have friends and I have people that I like, but it feels so small. The world feels so small. I'm texting the same couple people every day. And I just haven't come to terms with that being okay. I think part of it is like social media and everything teach me that, like, you know, you want to have people to adore you and whatever. And I know, and in my heart I'm like, man, fuck that. I just want to do what I do and love it. But at the same time, I still want that appreciation and that love. And, you know, maybe I'm just over dramatic or, you know, crazy in the head, but sometimes it just feels like there's no love for me. Like, when I'm not talking to those specific few people, like, I don't know, I feel like a boat drifting against the current. You know, it's like there's millions, maybe billions of stars out there, and like, you know, I'm just one of those stars. And it's not to say that, you know, any star could just be taken away and no one will notice. But I don't know. Seems like the brightest stars are the most far away. You know, a lot of times there's been, or at least recently, there's been talk about like, you know, you are enough, you are whatever. And like, I can feel that from others of like, I am enough for them, but I'm not enough for myself. And like, I know that I want to be better and like, you know, improve myself, but where do I reach that equilibrium point of like, I am enough for myself even while I'm trying to get better? Like, I feel like a genuinely good person with strong morals and such, but I'm still not satisfied with who I am. You know, I think part of it may be COVID, but I found myself much more bored than I used to be. That like, it's hard to get me excited about things anymore. And maybe it's just like an extended sadness due to COVID and not being able to go out and do what I want. But Like even when I took my trip to Yellowstone and it was beautiful and everything was awesome, when I was truly left alone to my thoughts and I closed my eyes, I still felt that hollowness. And I think the void is getting a little bit smaller, but a void is still a void no matter how small. And as a person, I want to fill it, but I think, at least in the past few months, I tried to fill it too quickly and try and put a band-aid over it. But I think now I'm finally starting to put something in there that will hopefully at least permanently fill it. And maybe I'm just rushing things, or I'm putting too many of my eggs into one basket, but I don't know, when someone makes you feel that way, or you can sleep next to them, and it feels right in that brief moment of time. The puzzle piece fits. And I think another part of me that's scared about it is that I haven't seen her that much, and we talk a lot, but even then, if I ever go to see her, it's all on my accord. How would we do a date night or whatever? It's always a whole affair just to see her, let alone do something with her. Also, I think I'm just scared to be open with my parents of I really like this person and I've been seeing them. I'll be I was staying at a friend's house or whatever, but it terrifies me to be there's this girl I really like, because for whatever reason, it scares me to talk to them about it. It feels like there's a pressure from them of oh, is she gonna be the one? Are you gonna marry this girl? Are you gonna blah 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 blah? And it stresses me out so much, because I'm I don't know. I just know I like her a lot. I don't know if she's the one for me, or if I should date her or what. I just know that I like her and it makes me happy. And it's so frustrating because it's so much easier to put labels on it and say, yes, this is my girlfriend, I cherish her, or whatever this, that. It's so much easier to just say, I'm simping, or I like this person, or whatever. But I don't know. I think part of it is being afraid of commitment, but most of it is being afraid of the rejection that might come from that commitment. Whether it's from my parents, or from her, or from friends, or what have you. Her parents, I don't know. Part of me I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm scared that I'm finding someone again. I'm scared that I'm trusting someone again. I'm scared of losing someone again. I'm just scared that the universe is going to destroy what I have made just one more time. That the universe is going to say, you thought, not so fast, bucko. That the universe doesn't want me to be happy. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the one that is saying, saying, not so fast, saying, I don't think so. Maybe it's the universe. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's both. I really don't know. All I know is that I feel this way, and it's so insanely frustrating. It definitely frustrates me a bit that like she can't drive, because like I want to at least see her more often than I do now. And maybe that's me just being like a simpy bitch or something, but like she's the one who makes me the most happy, and like I want to be with her more. I think that's good.